Good evening and welcome. See, we can't come in unless we're giggling, so we've got that taken care of. You are tuned in and watching the Zone Blitz. We are the weekly webcast produced by NFL Female, www.nflfemale.com. Be sure to jump on our website and check out all the latest and greatest articles by our wonderful contributors, by our official fan reporters. I'm Sharona. I'm the official fan reporter for the National Football League for NFL Female. I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host Sonja. Sonja, why don't I go ahead and just bring you in right now and let you introduce yourself and bring in our wonderful guest.
Great. Hi, everybody. I'm Sonja. I'm the official fan reporter for NFL Female for the Detroit Lions. And as always, it is my favorite time of the week getting to talk to my girl Sharona. And this week, our esteemed panel of ladies representing the AFC East minus the often talked about Patriots. They've had their week. It's time to move on.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on the Patriots. We're not going to talk about them tonight.
Exactly.
And I use this finger instead of that finger.
Good for you, Lisa. She's shown self-control and restraint.
Keeping it real.
Exactly. So first we have with us, new to NFL Female Zone Blitz, is our good friend Robyn. And she is part of the Bills Mafia, and we are so happy to have her on the show. Robyn, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hello to everybody. Let's roll.
Let's roll and talk some Bills. And then we also have Lisa, our official fan reporter for the Dolphins. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, girls. What's going on tonight? Glad to be here again.
Always glad to have you on. Always glad to have you on. And bringing warmth to the situation. And,
61 and sunny today. It was a really beautiful day here.
Oh, yeah. It was 21 and sunny, but that's, neither here nor there. And, of course, we have Kristin, our Bills Mafia representative to NFL Female. Hi, Kristin. How are you?
Oh, no. Did we lose Kristin again?
Uh-oh. Kristin's coming to us from her car. We go to any lengths to make it happen here at NFL Female. So, yeah.
Mafia girls, man. Those Mafia chicks are hardcore.
Yes, they are hardcore.
Yes, they are.
But our Dolphins OFR doesn't really have much room to talk, but she has come to us live from her breast room.
Yes.
Hey, but I'm upgraded. I'm actually sitting in my living room, so I'm upgraded.
Yes.
There you go. We'll get Kristin in here and let her join us. Kristin, you might want to exit out and come back in. That might help you out a little bit. We're not able to hear you right now. But we'll go ahead and get started. A lot of moves, a lot of movements going on in the AFC East. We're going to start with the Bills, and they're very interesting offseason. Sonja, I'm going to kick it over to you and let you lead the discussion.
All right, excellent. So, yes, it has been a very eventful offseason for the Bills, right, Robyn?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Starting I think it can't get brighter or whatever, it does.
Well, starting off with, first and foremost, Doug Marrone just up and leaving. I don't think, did we ever get a chance to really talk about that with a Bills person, Sharona? I don't think
no,
we did.
we haven't. We haven't had a chance to really discuss that yet.
So let's talk about that, Robyn. What were your feelings? How, what was going on with Mr. Marrone?
Oh, man. Nobody knows. Although we're finding out a lot of stuff now that we weren't aware of for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Apparently he was kind of a dictator.
Oh, yeah?
Wasn't really well liked by a lot of staff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's some information that suggests that he didn't get along real well with the general manager, Doug Whaley.
Okay.
And it's difficult. It's difficult. He's down in Jacksonville now, and I gotta love what he's saying to everybody. Well, there's this perception that I didn't quit on the team.
Yeah, right.
But you kind of did, though.
Ooh, I'm not really sure how you work your way around that.
Yeah.
That was an interesting contract that they offered him, that it would be so guaranteed like that, too.
Well, it does make you wonder when somebody sets up a contract that has an opt-out clause like that and has already left a job in the past with Syracuse University, kind of the same way, leaving them in the dust. And I think there was an assistant coach of his that had something like an interview and said all kinds of stuff about how difficult he was to work with, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, wow.
And this was his MO, that he quits on teams, that he has a job prepared before he takes the next job. He already has the next one lined up.
Wow.
So, he's an interesting character. And it's kind of a demotion, isn't it, to go all the way from a head coaching job to an offensive line coach for the Jaguars?
Just a smidge of a step down. You wouldn't really call it a lateral move.
Not exactly. And I think he was really planning on getting the Jets job. At least that's what I read. And, of course, there were interviews all over the place with people saying, oh, boy, Woody Johnson isn't going to like this guy. And he bombed his interview, and I think that was his plan all along, was to take the coaching job for the Jets.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Kristin, do we have you?
I think so, for a minute at least.
Oh, yay.
Good.
Oh, good. So this is Kristin, our official Bills fan reporter for NFL Female. And so we're talking about Doug Marrone, and I kind of wanted to get your feelings on Mr. Marrone as well.
Nice. Okay.
Be nice.
Let's try this. I was absolutely shocked when he left. It was the last thing I expected. I really, really did not think he would go. And now, after all the things that came out after he did leave, I guess it's kind of a good thing for us.
Yeah, yeah. And, do you kind of think that maybe he was just in over his head, or do you think he was just kind of resume building or something like that?
Yeah, I think he was just looking for his next opportunity.
And so just kind of took the Bills job as, I'll see what I can do, and then, yeah. But like Robyn said, it was just kind of weird to have it all structured the way it was. And, do you not smell something kind of weird when it's like, yeah, he has a 3-day chance to opt out at the end of the year? I don't know too many contracts that have that in that. Do you guys?
I think that was more built for impending new ownership in case they didn't see eye to eye or whatever, but...
I think you're absolutely right. That was built in the contracts when he actually signed it 2 years ago, or whenever he signed his original contract. If there was a change in ownership, he was going to be able to have a 3-day window at the end of the first season at the close of the change in ownership. And it was interesting the way that it all played out, because about 2 or 3 days, I think Kristin could correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I think about 2 or 3 days before this all happened, it was leaked to the media that he had this in his contract. So
yeah, we didn't know anything about it before.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, so why are we hearing about this now?
Exactly. So it's just strange. So what do you guys think about your new coach, Mr. Ryan? Rex Ryan. We'll start with you, Kristin, since we have you for now.
I call him Rexy Poo. Everybody else calls him Sexy Rexy or whatever it is. I've always called him Rexy Poo. I don't know why. It's just that's what I call him, Rexy Poo. I'm actually kind of excited. It was kind of surprising to me, and I was kind of like, wait a minute, I've not liked this guy for how long, and now I have to actually get to know him. I have to like him. He's our coach now. But I did not realize what a player's coach he was. I didn't really pay that much attention to him. It was just, he made fun of the other team's coaches. That's what you do.
Right.
I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. I had no clue what a player's coach he is. And I'm excited about his attitude, too. He's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to be running up and down the sideline, screaming, jumping up and down. He's going to be fun in interviews. And we've had a lot of blah at head coach when it comes to that stuff.
Ooh.
So you like that burst of energy in a way that he gives them. But yeah, apparently, a lot of guys, the Ryans, that's just kind of what they're known for, is that they are players, coaches. So yeah, so that'll be really kind of fun to watch as well. Robyn, what do you think about Mr. Rexy?
I'm very excited. And like Kristin, there was no way I expected Rex Ryan to be coaching the Bills. I still wake up in the morning and go, huh? He's really our head coach? It's a good fit. I think he's the guy who I've always wanted to have coaching the Bills in terms of charisma.
Yeah.
For years I really dreamed about a guy like Bill Parcells. And, Rex Ryan isn't that far away. He's brash, he says what he thinks, and I think he's got boatloads of charisma. I think the players love him. He's definitely a player's coach. And I'm real excited about it. It's going to make the AFC East really interesting.
Yeah, the talent he can draw, too. He can draw in players that we never thought would ever be in a Bills uniform.
You bet.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with Robyn. I love it. I love the move. I am a big Rex Ryan fan. I like Rex Ryan. I think that it is a wonderful fit for him. There are a lot of similarities. Not only did you guys lose your coach, but you lost your quarterback too, who just up and of course that's not a big shock either, right? I mean, that's kind of his MO.
I think you'll find out that it won't be too long before Wharton will decide, oh, well, maybe I got one more season in me.
Right?
And some team will come along with an injury or something, and we'll
offer
have
him
Wharton
like
back
$10 million.
again.
I mean, he's like the luckiest dude in the league because he keeps getting these great contracts. He keeps retiring on people and still coming out smelling like a rose. It must be the beard.
I think so.
I really thought he was going to be around for one more season.
I kind of did too. I really did think he was going to be around for another year. But that does bring up an interesting situation. So what do you guys think about your quarterback situation? Do you think that Mr. Manuel is going to get another shot at this? Which I really hope he does, but that's just me. Robyn, what do you think?
Absolutely. This might be what was the problem to begin with EJ. When we look at an offensive line, we had a coach that was an offensive lineman in the NFL and ended up with one of the worst offensive lines in the league this year. The guys that were good even regressed. And now, we've got a guy coming in. Things could look a lot better.
Kristin?
I love EJ. I do. I really, really do. I think we do need to bring in a veteran. I don't know where they're going to get that veteran because free agency is kind of blah. Anything's possible. Anything's possible with the ownership, though. They could make a trade for somebody big. I think they should bring in someone younger, too. But I really, really hope that EJ ends up winning it out. I don't think he's had a fair chance. I don't think 14 games is enough. And actually, everyone thinks I'm crazy. I have this thing on my Twitter that compares his first 14 games to Rodgers, Breeze, Luck, and Manning, and they're pretty comparable. Now, I'm not saying he will be that, but you don't know that he's not going to be either. I don't think he was ever supposed to start the first year. I think that kind of happened because Cobb got hurt. And I think Marone kind of had his own agenda, so I don't think he got a fair shot.
I agree.
Lisa, let's get you in here. What are your thoughts on having Rex Ryan remain in the division and coaching the Buffalo Bills, who kind of gave the Dolphins a little bit of fits the last few years?
Yeah, they have. I mean, he went from Marone, like I said, with the girls earlier talking about Marone. You clearly had to think that he had something else on the horizon. I mean, coaches work their whole lives to become head coaches. I mean, that is the highest plateau you can strive for in the NFL. And just to walk away, the contract doesn't surprise me. Like I said, who wouldn't want a contract with ownership changing? You want that opt-out if things just don't go. But it didn't seem like the owners were the problem to me in the Bills, like you said. I think he thought he secured, whether it was a Jets job, Chicago, somewhere, but I really think the guy thought he was going to land on his feet and become a head coach. Because you're not going to sit there and tell me that the guy wants to be a line coach. Come on, you know?
Really?
Rex slid into that position perfectly. I mean, he knows this AFC East like the back of his hand, you know? I mean, so to me, you're familiar with it. You're familiar with all the teams, all the players. I mean, because when you look at the signing of Richie Incognito up there, you know, I mean, when he was with the Jets, he played Richie twice a year. So, you know, the familiarity with the players and the whole system, you know, benefits the Bills. And, you know, like I said, he's a player's coach. He's a mad defensive coordinator guy. I love what he does with defenses. You know, like I said, I still question, like I said, the offensive side of the ball. So, like I said, the biggest question, like you said, is the quarterback position in Buffalo. You know, I can't see how you don't go into training camp giving EJ that other shot. I mean, he gave, you know, his first-round pick. You got to see what the kid can do. And to me, this is the year, and I think Rex is going to give him a shot. You know, definitely going to open that quarterback competition up. So I'd be excited for the Bills fans. I think, you know, he's going to bring it. You know, he brings familiarity. You know, not much change. You know, he knows us definitely. You know, he knows the team who we will name tonight. He knows them well. You know, so like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So I'm excited about the AFC East. I think it's going to be, you know, good battles down the stretch. But we always have good battles between, in division rivalries. It's great. What makes it, you know, special with this AFC.
Oh, yeah, especially. And, you know, I really do think, or I really can't wait to see what he's going to do with that defense. I mean, it was already pretty good last year. Very good last year. So I think that, you know, with Mr. Ryan and, you know, who did he get to be his defensive coordinator? Do we know yet?
Dennis Thurman?
Dennis Thurman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's going to be really, really interesting to watch this defense and see if it can hopefully become, you know, one of those top 2 or 3 defenses, which
I keep seeing a few things written about the possibility that they may go after Revis.
Yes, I see that too.
I do too. Well, it would make sense.
Everybody's going after Revis. Even the Jets are trying to get Revis.
Everybody wants Revis.
Yeah, if the Patriots don't lock him up, it's going to be an all-out battle. Who can sign him quickly?
Battle for the island.
Now, Sonja and I have a history. You're talking about your defense and defensive coordinator and whatnot. Sonja and I have a history with your former defensive coordinators. I know Kristin. I know how Kristin feels, sort of. But I definitely want to hear from Robyn about what she thought about Jim Schwartz.
Oh, he was an excellent defensive coordinator, just absolutely superb. I understand there were problems when he was in Detroit. We didn't see that side of him, you know, that the alleged arrogance and so on and so forth. I thought he did an excellent job. He really made Marcel Darius a more disciplined player. And I think he brought the best out in the team. And, of course, the year before we had Mike Pettin, who was under Rex Ryan. So the defense really doesn't even have to alter itself that much, which is going to be kind of interesting.
Well, what's the latest on Brandon Spites? Are they going to re-sign him or not?
They're going to try. And I think Rex likes him, so I wouldn't be surprised to have him back. And I am foaming at the mouth to get Kiko back.
Oh, I know. I love Kiko Alonso. Big fan. Yeah. Hopefully he can finally play a full year.
Oh, indeed.
I hope so. Because, yeah, it's going to be amazing if he does.
Yeah, if they have Revis in the back and Kiko and Brandon Spikes and that defensive line, they really could be good.
Watch out. Now, we hinted at him earlier, but tell me about Richie Incognito. Now, I think Robyn and Kristin, I think you guys kind of disagree about Mr. I. Is that what I'm hearing?
Really, I was shocked, to say the very least. But I'll tell you what turned the corner for me on this hire is the fact that Kim Pegula, the owners, Terry and Kim Pegula, actually interviewed him before he was signed. And I think Kim is a very good judge of character. I think she could look him straight in the eye and see whether or not he's just trying to, pass a load of bull or whatever. But I think I trust her judgment, and I'm ready to give him a shot. I'm a big believer in giving people second chances, and so he's going to have his chance with me, but he better not screw it up.
I hear you. Kristin, how do you feel about Mr. Incognito?
Well, I think he's an instant upgrade that we definitely need, for one. And she was talking about Kim Pegula. There was a report from Pro Football Talk saying that why would they bring this guy in, a female owner, blah, 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 blah. I was like, you don't think that they actually talked to him first? You don't think she sat down and talked to him? You don't think that she already knew what happened in his past and has talked about it with him before they decided to bring him in? Everything now goes through the owners, everything. So that upset me a little bit. I tweeted them a little bit. I was nice, but I tweeted them. You don't think billionaires are smart enough to make smart decisions and know what happened before? Really?
And if they don't, I'm sure.
Nobody wants to get me going on Pro Football Talk because I took them to task last night and blocked them.
I loved
you did. I saw that.
Oh, I missed it. I got to go back and look.
I missed that too.
Kristin,
awesome.
Kristin, real quick, are you going to miss Jim Schwartz?
I am. I wanted to keep him, but then I was thinking, how is that going to work? Both head coaches at one point, both defensive guys. It's not going to work. I knew Rex would want to do his thing with the defense, so I guess I'm over it. I did love him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a very good defensive coordinator. Obviously got his defensive coordinator chops in Tennessee, and so we definitely wish him the very best from this neck of the woods. So what about your running back situation? Let's touch on that real briefly. Fred Jackson stays defying old man time. C.J. Spiller, what are they going to do with him? How do you ladies feel about your running back situation? Do you want Spiller back? Robyn, I'll start with you.
I'd love to have him back, but I think there's a reasonable chance he may end up signing with the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
With Chan Gailey, coaching and the offensive coordinator now with the Jets, boy, does this make the AFC East ever so incestuous. But
I was just thinking that, Robyn. So funny.
It's weird, but yeah, Telegram.
Now, will the Bills go after Chris Johnson if they do?
Oh,
see, yes. Keeping it in the family.
At this point. But I think Chan Gailey has such a good relationship with C.J. Spiller. The 1 year that C.J. had his best year was the last year that Chan coached, and he was excellent that year. And Chan really figured out how to use him, which drove me crazy this past year because he was misutilized again.
Go ahead, Robyn.
No, I was just saying, I think that he was misutilized in the offense. I was waiting for them to throw little screen passes to him. He needs to get out in the open. The offensive line wasn't working right. He's not the kind of power back that can get through, the offensive line if they're not blocking for him. And it was rough going for CJ this year, and he regressed. And I don't know whether he'll want to come back. Of course, it'll all depend on the money. I'd love to have him come back. I think that Rex will know how to use him. Even though Rex isn't, an OC guy, Greg Roman will sure figure out how to use him.
Yeah.
And he's very emphatic about the run. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I hope we bring him back.
How do you feel about E.J. Manuel, Robyn?
Oh, I would really, really like to see them give him a shot, because I think that he was mentally wounded because of the coaching situation. Obviously there must have been stuff going on behind the scenes that we didn't know about, and I think it affected his psyche. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that he get a chance, and he's going into his third year. He had a chance to sit. He had a chance to learn. Now I think he could come out with a coach like with Greg and with Rex Ryan, and I think he'll feel better about himself. Look, if Rex can coach Gino, I think he could probably get something.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Lisa, what about you? What do you think about E.J. Manuel as an outsider looking in the AFC East? And do you see C.J. Spiller going to the Jesters?
Jesters. I think CJ will weigh his options. That's kind of the same thing. With the familiarity, you see, exactly what CJ's going to have some options. So we'll see what happens with there. I absolutely think they're going to give EJ a shot. The thing about EJ, he stuck raw last year. I mean, I've always stood with the philosophy of quarterbacks. When you take a quarterback in the first round, you stick with that quarterback. You have to see what that quarterback can do. The quarterback will not learn holding a clipboard. I do not care what anybody says. Everybody brings up Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre. Anybody's going to be a superstar, going to sit on the bench behind Brett Favre. Do you think? I do not think Kyle Orton was a good teacher for E.J. Manuel, because Orton was Orton. Everybody, this was 2015 in 5 years. So, I still, I did not like when they pulled him out. I'm sorry, guys. I thought that was a wrong move. I thought the kid needed to be in there. Yeah, he needed to take his licks. You knew he was a rookie. You knew he was going to have some downsides. You're going to have some rookie games with him. But, to me, they set him back 6 months to a year by sitting him. I just hope Rex lets the kid go. He's got to learn. And the only way you're going to learn is by taking the ball under center and playing every single down in every game.
Exactly. And it's almost
right
like the
on.
coaching
That's
staff
exactly
did not
right.
have.
Just look at Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
Ryan
let's
learned
talk
that
a
way,
little bit.
Lisa.
Yeah, let's talk about the Dolphins. Lisa, are the Dolphins going to extend Ryan Tannehill or not?
It's certainly looking that way. I mean, it's been some salty discussions down here. We got about a 50-50 split on the fan base. Some fan base thinks he's the next franchise quarterback. Some people just don't see it. I personally don't see the it factor. Don't get me wrong. I think he's an average quarterback, and I think that's all he's going to be. To me, the kid's a tough guy. 131 sacks in the last, 3 years. I mean, 113. I'm sorry, sacks. The kid's a tough cookie. I mean, the guy takes a lick and gets back up.
Yeah, he does.
He holds the ball too long for me. His pocket presence isn't there. And to me, and once again, I've always said it from the get-go, pocket presence to me with a quarterback is something you can't teach. It's just something I think these elite quarterbacks have. They just have that sixth sense about them to know what's around them. I almost call it like the Matrix effect, where when you're an elite quarterback, things just happen in slow motion, and you can see the whole field and just make things happen. That's the it factor to me. Now, if you're going to sit here and tell me an average quarterback is worth $100 million, you know what? If Ross wants to pay it, I can't say much about it. But, to me, he's an average quarterback, and I don't see the $100 million contract. But it looks like he is going to get it.
Robyn, what do you think? Is that a mistake or not from your point of view?
From my point of view?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I see potential with Tannehill. He's burned the Bills enough. He's got a lot of potential, and I know that's a P word, and it can go a lot of different directions. But I have the same feeling about him that I do about EJ. I think that if he's surrounded by the right pieces. And I would defer to Lisa on this, but I'm wondering about his wide receivers, and what kind of chemistry he's got with his wide receivers.
We're getting ready to talk about Mike Wallace.
Oh, good. Good lead-in.
Yeah, perfect lead-in. We got to keep Robyn on here.
Exactly. She's great. I told you.
Lisa, is Mike Wallace on the trading block or not? And if so, are there going to be any suitors when you consider all the headaches that he brings?
The problem is with him is we're going to take a heck of a cap hit with him if we release him. Somebody's going to have to pick up that contract, I would think, if they trade. I just don't see the value there. supposedly, this is rumored, but, came from pretty reliable sources that they sat down with Mike Wallace during the last couple of days and had a talk with him. When you look at the end of the season and you look how it all played out with Mike, I thought personally he had a better season than the previous season. He was a little bit more into it.
Mm-hmm.
God knows, and everybody who follows me on Twitter, I am not a Mike Wallace fan by any means. I think the guy's lazy. The guy doesn't go after the ball. I thought he's an overrated paid receiver to me down here. Now, if you look at him next to Landry, and you watch Landry those last couple days, or the last couple games with us, where Landry's our biggest draft hit in the last 5 years of this franchise. That kid, him and Odell Beckham, two outstanding wide receivers, and I am so happy that I got the second half of that Odell Beckham duo, because you definitely can see it. I mean, you see players, and Sonja's sitting there with a big smile because she got 81 on her chest right now because she knows she's got one. These are receivers that actually go after the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. And I mean, there's plays where he could help Ryan out tremendously, and he doesn't. There was, in that end of the season finasco that happened with the coaches, whether he
that press conference to this day is the most amazing thing I have ever seen.
It was ridiculous, and like I said, I don't know. I mean, there's so much split down here of what, and the Dolphins are so tight-lipped. It's hard to get anything, because now we got Mike Tannenbaum in the front office, we got Dennis Hickey in the front office, we got Joe Philbin. I mean, I got 3 roosters in a hen house, and I have nothing. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if anybody could pick up his contract. That is the biggest thing with him. And he's a one-dimensional wide receiver. He doesn't run routes very well. I mean, he goes straight down the field. And if the ball doesn't hit the guy square in the hands, he's not going to go get it. So,
Kristin, from the outside looking in, what are your thoughts on Mike Wallace? Is he a guy that teams fear?
I don't think so. But can I ask? My phone cut out, and I wanted to ask Lisa a question about Tannehill. Would you be more comfortable if they just picked up the 5th-year option on him?
Absolutely. Because I would love to see him go into this next year with the same continuity, because we got the same coaching staff, same offensive guru with Bill Lazor, second year with all the offensive, 1 year learning the process, second year with all the coaches being retained, and see what he can do. That would be my choice. I don't know what they see. I honestly don't. I know Robyn, I know the potential's there. But you know what? I'm not going to have this discussion at year 5 and 6 going, well, he's got potential. That doesn't, I'm sorry, $100 million? No, your potential better be next year. And like I said, I think that would have been the wisest thing to do, is let him go in, because everything's not going to change. We got the same coaching staff, same offense. Next year, this year should shine for him. The 2016 season, 2016 season, this better be the year for me. This I'm pulling the plug on him after this year, because I'm not going to have this conversation in 9 or 10 years going, well, he's still got potential.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the option
We
is
sure know that drill.
Yeah, really. I think the option is the best thing too, Lisa.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that's probably the smartest. You're not completely tied to him, and he's not going to eat up a whole bunch of money. And then that way, if you are not satisfied with the direction that he's going, adios, amigo. I mean, it just makes it easy. And I kind of feel the same way about Stafford. We're always kind of like, he's got potential. We've seen it. He can do it, but he just doesn't all the time, And he's got the talent that he's got, And so it's just, is he going to get there? So I kind of know your feeling. Kind of know your struggles.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. I can honestly tell you, I don't want to have this conversation in 2 years. I don't want to have the same potential conversation. Because I won't. Because after next year, and like I said, it causes a hit when I do it. Like I said, There's quarterbacks that have the it factor, and there's quarterbacks that have the average that are just average. He's average to me. So.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a way, it's a little bit unfair, I think, to Ryan Tannehill that the Dolphins drafted him so high. And I understand they did that because of that P word, you know, the potential word that Robyn talked about. But, you know, the poor guy didn't play quarterback a lot in college. So
that is true, too.
And he came into and there's not a lot of room to allow these guys to grow these days.
No,
that's why we are where we are talking about should they option him, should they extend him, because they have to be good so fast, so quick, and you know, it's kind of unfair to them, I think.
And you're right. I mean, you hit it, and it's the same thing with like EJ. You know, he's got a whole new system now. He's got a new head coach now. Going to have another offensive coordinator, and it's like you said, they bring these guys in, and coaching staff changes or they get fired. They're learning a whole new system again, and that's why I said that's why when we talk about Ryan Tannehill's his option, that's why that to me made the most sense because we're going into the same next season with the same offense. The same coordinators. You know, if you can't show a huge stride between with the same offensive coordinators, you pretty much got your answer when you got $100 million quarterback.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a question about that too because I really think that we're in a position now where colleges are not training quarterbacks to be pro-ready. So on the other hand, you know, so they come in to the league and they're not really in a pro-style offense, so they take even longer to get, you know, adapted to the NFL, and then we don't give them the time, you know, or the NFL doesn't give them the time to get trained properly, and so they're, you know, it's like a double-edged sword.
And the fans do not give them the time. The fans want
not at all.
They want them right now.
Exactly.
Well, absolutely.
Well, you look at Russell Wilson as an example of that. I mean, he was a quarterback that came in and had a phenomenal rookie season. He's a quarterback that came in, worked his butt off, and basically the second Super Bowl. So, you know, fans look at that and they're like, well, okay, you look at Ryan Tannehill, it's like, well, look what Russell Wilson did. Look at Ryan Tannehill. You know, there's more to it, like we all know. There's components. I mean, everything has to fire. The offensive line has to block, you know, and you understand that. And Ryan hasn't had that down here that much.
That is true.
Our offensive line has been crap, you know. But there's still things that you can see. There's still things that you can kind of gauge him, and you can see when he should get rid of the ball. You know, I'd love for him to start calling some plays. You know, and EJ's going to have the same thing this year, hopefully, with Rex Ryan. Because, you know, I think Rex Ryan gave Geno a heck of a shot. And Geno sucks, you know, so.
This is why we love you, Lisa.
Exactly.
Yeah,
she just calls it like it is. Yes, Geno does suck.
Smith
You
really
are right.
But Geno Smith hasn't shown very much in his professional career. This is absolutely the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I
totally
get the feeling he's not the brightest brick in the bunch.
He really isn't, and I think that's a lot of his problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you don't know what time zone you're in, and you know those kind of things, they're kind of scary.
Yeah.
God bless him. God bless him.
Yeah, what was it he said? He said something. Oh, that he wasn't. He had played at times like a Pro Bowler or an All Pro or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the nation collectively lost its mind when he said that because they were like, "What planet is this guy coming from? Earth to Geno. Go watch some film."
But I majored in physical education.
Yes, he did major in physical education, and that's what he told him. He said, "You're gonna be good, boy." And he's awful, you guys.
Well, speaking of the Jets,
you know, if anybody can get anything out of Geno, it'll be Chan Gailey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. good for him. Let's talk a little bit about the Jets. You know, they made a coaching. I actually love their new coach. I think that they made a wonderful hire in Todd Bowles. I think that he, you know, first-time head coach, but you know, long-time defensive coordinator. Really did a great job in Arizona with their defense, and I think that they've got a good guy who can come in. I haven't seen anybody say, but he strikes me as a player's coach. How do you ladies look at him? Robyn, go ahead. I can see you're wanting to say something.
Oh, I'm just sitting here because I'll tell you what, I think absolutely it's gonna be a very interesting season.
Kristin, what do you think? How do you feel about Todd Bowles being the Jets' new head coach?
I'm a little bit afraid of the Jets now, but not completely afraid of the Jets.
Well, because they don't have a quarterback, right?
Right. Right, and you don't know how their defense is really going to be now. But I was a little bit jealous of Chan Gailey because after he left the Bills, everyone's like, well, he would make a great offensive coordinator. He's really good at getting the most out of nothing, and that kind of, and they got Pepper Johnson too, which I was really upset about. I was very upset about that. I really wanted him to stay with us. I was hoping we'd give him, I don't know, something, assistant defensive coordinator, something to upgrade him just so, you know, because he's been angry about not being able to get a defensive coordinator job. I really, really wanted to keep him, and I'm very upset that the Jets got him.
I feel the same way, Kristin. That was a big disappointment. I was wishing they would find a place for him.
Yeah, you know, if their quarterback situation improves, they're kind of a scary team.
Yeah, the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills all kind of sound the same, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Issues, offensive issues, too many coaching changes.
Yeah. And it's interesting because the AFC East is, in that way, is a little bit like the AFC South has been. You know, you've got the Colts they've got their quarterback, their Tom Brady, so to speak, and Andrew Luck, and the other three teams are, you know, struggling because they have not had a very good quarterback situation, and they've gone through some coaching changes and whatnot. So, yeah, you know, I think that it will be an interesting year in the AFC East. Now, it's a little bit early. We've got free agency to go through, but let's real quick talk about draft needs. I know the Bills don't have a ton of draft picks. Let's touch briefly upon that, and then we may hopefully we'll get you ladies back on as we get closer to draft season and do this again. But Lisa, let's start with you. We'll talk about the Dolphins just real quick. Give us a rundown on what you expect them to be looking at, how many picks they have, and what they expect to look at in the draft.
I kind of think that basically what we're going to do once again with us, and it's like it's been the last 10 years. You know what? We don't suck, but we're not great either. So once again, we're in the mid of the pack, right there, right in the mid of the draft. The thing that I eyeball is I gotta think they got to go defense. I think our linebackers. Philip Wheeler was trash. I mean, he got trashed this year. You know, or getting rid of Dansby was a huge mistake for us. Deion Jordan, we all know, you know, the ups and downs that he has.
I was going to ask you, is Deion Jordan? What are the plans for Deion Jordan?
According to coach, he's going to keep him at defensive end. Same thing they draft him at. For some reason, I don't know. It's just if it's because I don't know why they won't move him to linebacker. I really don't. The kid, I think, would excel and do a lot better in positioning-wise as a linebacker. The thing is, every single expert down here, every NFL analyst guy you'll talk to said that he would make a great linebacker.
Uh-oh. I think we lost your sound, Lisa. Can you guys hear Lisa?
No.
No.
Lisa, we can't hear you.
Lisa got so excited she blew her microphone.
Oh.
Lisa, we can't hear you. You might want to exit out and come back in real quick. Still can't hear you.
Leave Endo, come back. Oh.
Come back.
ET phone call. Let's talk real quick about the Bills and their upcoming draft, and then we've got a hot topic. We want to talk about the Greg Hardy situation. But Kristin, we'll start with you. Not a lot of draft picks for the Buffalo Bills. They mortgaged the farm, so to speak, on Sammy Watkins, who I love. So give us your take. How many draft picks do they have, and what do you think is going to happen?
Uh-oh.
I think we lost Kristin, too.
Well,
Oh, no. Oh, wait, no, there's not.
Sammy's totally worth it. Let's start there. Sammy's worth it.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you
I'm
hear
not
me?
saying that he's not. I'm just saying. So, Kristin.
Yeah, we have to. We might have to look at running back. It depends what happens with C.J. Spiller. We could use another tight end, definitely. More offensive line help. We also, some depth in the secondary would be fantastic. But where that's going to come with the very few picks we have, I don't know. We might have to hit on some undrafted free agents, which actually they've been pretty good at.
Oh, yeah.
We've done pretty well with that, I think.
Yeah, I like your scouting department. I think your scouting department is doing a great job.
Yeah.
Robyn, what about you? What do you think they're going to do? What do you see them doing in the draft?
Very much along the same lines as Kristin. Obviously, we need guard help. That goes without
We'll give you
saying.
Andy Levitri back.
You know, I saw that yesterday. There was an article about him flopping out, with Tennessee, and that they might actually even cut him.
Oh, wow.
Which was really surprising, and I was wondering what Bills fans might think, about bringing him back, because we desperately need guard help.
No. And he did very well there.
And I was upset when he left, too. I really was. Guess it was the right move.
All right, Lisa, finish up real quick your draft discussion.
What's the last thing I said?
We were talking about Deion Jordan.
Yeah.
You said a lot of experts down there, and then I lost.
Yeah, they think that he should move to linebacker. So everybody would like to see him.
With that.
Yeah, I do. So like I said, I totally expect us to go defense. I don't think we're going to go offensive line. Not being mid-draft, they're just not. I'm not seeing that first round lineman.
Right.
I think you can get the right guard help later on in the draft. So I think we're going to go inside linebacker or outside linebacker. So it'll be interesting to see what we do. Definitely going to pick up a running back, I think, in the later rounds. I absolutely love this running back class. I think this is a stout running back class this year. So, looking forward to that. I think we'll probably pick one up in the later round, possibly even, 3 or 4. Might even go second if some of the higher tier guys are up there. But,
Where do you
like
see
I
Todd
said,
Gurley going? Where do you see?
I think he's going to go in a later first round. I think he's going to be a surprise. I'm looking at a team. If I had to kind of guess, jeez. See, I even kind of thought like the Jesters might go for a running back, because with losing Johnson, if they can't pick up Spiller, like you said, I know you guys said there's a lot of talk about that right now just because of the fit and everything like that. But I would look for a team like the Jets, and I think they're at a 6, picking 6. If they could trade down and pick up some extra picks and still pick him up, because I still think you're going to get one of those 5-tier running backs in the later first round, second. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see the Jets trade back to pick up more picks and maybe go for one of those running backs in the later first round.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sonja, get us going on our hot topic.
All right. So yesterday, Greg Hardy went to court, and he was in tennis shoes. I don't know if you guys saw that. But, yeah, he went to court on his trial for domestic violence. And lo and behold, the case was dismissed as the witness never really came forward or said too much of anything. So the case was dismissed.
Some money. I see some money.
They settled the case.
Absolutely.
Yep, they most likely settled the case. And so now Greg Hardy is just out there. Where
he's going to the Bills, baby.
No.
He's going to go to the
No.
And that is a no from Kristin, so okay.
I have an issue
I think
with
we know
him
where
right
Kristen's headed here. Kristin, let's start with you, honey. Would you want Greg Hardy on your Buffalo Bills?
No, I would not. Not even a little bit. I'm mad that the case was dismissed. Number one, I hope that the league still punishes him somewhat. He made $13.1 million last year. 13.1 with nothing. Nothing.
Well, you know, he paid some of that to the young lady that he threw
I'm sure. He might pay
that he threw on a couch full of guns and bruised and battered and what have you. And people got mad because she went shopping.
Oh, no, she did not.
How dare she?
Oh, shit. Shoot, sorry. I'm sorry, Liz.
Lisa.
Until he gets some type of punishment and then comes back, no.
He's going to have 6 games.
Somehow.
He'll have 6 games.
Yeah.
The rumor is right now it'll be 6 games.
Robyn, what about you? How do you feel about Greg?
Don't want him. We have enough challenges at the moment, you know, in terms of the chemistry department.
Yes.
And I think that the distraction and all of that would not be good. He wouldn't be a good fit.
Lisa, would you
Our
want him
defense
on your
doesn't need that much help.
Lisa, would you want him on your Miami Dolphins?
God knows we need him on our Miami Dolphins, but there is no way he would come down here. Not with Philbin. It's just not the style down here with this coach. You know, even though you look and you said, you know what, he would definitely be great down here, and he's a balling out football player, but he's not a Coach Philbin guy. He's not a Miami Dolphin guy. So he I can see him going out west, 49ers maybe, Oakland maybe.
Potentially.
What about the Seahawks? Do you think the Seahawks, they're kind of known to take a little bit of a risk on guys?
But I don't think they'd take that big of a risk. I don't see them taking that big of a risk right now. I like, possibly Oakland for him. Oakland I would say for sure. But I don't see Seattle taking that big of a risk on him.
What about Arizona? Bruce Arians, he's known to kind of take a few risky guys. They drafted Darrell Washington.
And the Honey Badger.
Yes, they did, and the Honey Badger. And the Honey Badger has stayed pretty clean for the most part, I think. So I could see him there. I could see him there more than I could see him with Seattle.
Would you want him on your Detroit Lions, Sonja?
Probably not. I don't think I would. I don't think I'd want him on the Detroit Lions. Not that, just because I think we're headed in a different type of direction, and I don't think we would need that type of distraction.
You just survived the Sue Fairley situation, and it looks like Nick Fairley may or may not walk. Would they want to bring in another headache?
Probably not. Probably not that big of a headache. I don't think that they would. I think that they would. I think they would draft somebody to replace one of those guys before they would look at bringing in Greg Hardy. That's just my 2 cents. But they could surprise me, and next thing you know, he's right there. So
yeah, it will be interesting to see where he goes. Of course, before he can really go anywhere, teams are going to want to know what his punishment is going to be. What should his punishment be? What do you think that he should get? Kristin said, you said 6 games, Kristin. Is that what you would like to see him get?
No, Lisa's right. I think that's what he's going to get because of the new domestic violence policy and blah, 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 blah. I'd like to see him take the whole year off, seeing how he got paid last year. But I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
And just so you guys know, Robyn and I are probably in a minority when it comes to him and the Bills. Everyone else looks at the line and says, oh, yes, add him to that line. That'd be insane. But but I think you can put better character players in there, and it'd be just as great.
So you think he'll get 6 games. Kristen thinks he should get a year, though. Lisa, what do you think he should get?
I think he's going to the thing is with the due process and stuff like that, I'm about second chances. I think we all can change. The thing is like we all just talked about, how he got off is the cheesiest thing ever. It's not like, it clearly, the chick got money, he clearly paid her off. As a football fan, like you said, would I want him down here? Absolutely. We need all the help on defense we can get. Do I see somewhere like, Buffalo? Probably not. Like I said, I think like Rex, pushed it a little bit with Incognito. But as a football fan, again, and talking to a lot of people down here and knowing a lot of the players' wives with Richie Incognito, he's a balling football player. I mean, the guy, you know what? You go back to that movie, A Few Good Men. I'd go to war with Richie Incognito any day, and you can ask any of these Dolphin linemen down here, minus Martin, they'd go to war with Richie any day. And so, I think I think that's a great signing for the Bills, and I think Richie's going to be a great teammate. I mean, he's certainly, like I said, when your quarterback gets hit, and it might be a little bit late, I'm going to tell you, the first person that's going to be there to defend E.J. Manuel is going to be Richie Incognito.
Mm-hmm. See, you want him on that line. You need him on that line.
Exactly. Yeah. See, I take him on that line tomorrow. You guys are very lucky to get him. You really are. And like I said,
keep that head straight off the field, and we'll be great.
Yep, exactly. And I think maybe that year off, but like you said, I think it straightened him out because, like you said, who has better judgment than a woman to look at a guy and see if he, I think it scared the crap out of him. I think he loves playing football. I think he, and you know what? It'd probably do the same thing for Hardy. Scare the crap out of the kid, sit the kid on the sidelines for the whole year without pay.
Mm-hmm. Robyn, what do you think he should get? What should Greg Hardy get?
Along the same lines, it makes more sense. I think he should sit for a year, but I don't think it'll happen. I think, like everyone is saying, 6 probably, but it's a shame. It's truly a shame.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Sonja? How many games should he get if you had to make that decision?
I think you should probably get at least 6 to 8 games. At least 6 to 8 games. I think that's what's going to happen to him, and he's going to be able to play the last few games, and hopefully they don't do anything like they did with Josh Gordon and try and reinstate, play the funny game and then reinstate him when it should have been, or appeal the suspension. But I think that for sure it should at least be 6 to 8 games. I don't see him, coming back anytime before then. And he does need to kind of be sat down and just, and to be like, look, this is a privilege and you almost effed it up. You got to be careful, and sometimes that's what these guys need. You look at Incognito, and that's probably all he needed, was just to sit down and be like, I almost lost something that I love.
Yeah, he did. And it's different. It's the different circumstances when you look at domestic violence and bullying. You look at all that and how it could have potentially been horrible for Jonathan Martin. And then you look at the situation with Josh Gordon. You know what? And it's sad because Josh Gordon is an addict and he needs help. When you look at something like Greg Hardy, he just beats crap out of women. And it's like, okay, where does it end in the NFL? And it's time to step up and start making, these guys help be some kind of punishment, a good one. And like I said, I think we're all in agreement. I think all of us agree he should sit the whole year. We're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It would not hurt my feelings. I would not lose an iota bit of sleep if he sat out a year.
Me neither.
Neither would I.
Neither would I.
All right. Well, the hour always goes by so fast, and we actually got started on time this week. I'm so proud of us, Sonja.
Yeah. Gold star. I can't make stars with my hands.
Well, we'll do the NFL female thing.
Yes, we'll do the heart.
I can't because I got my phone in my hand now.
Football on your phone.
All right. Before we let you guys get out of here, I know it's early and then we've got a whole lot of stuff to go through, but just as a fun exercise, I want you guys to predict your season, what your next year is going to look like. How many wins are you going to have, and who do you think is going to come out on top in the AFC East? Lisa, since you laughed, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. You know what? Same quarterback, same regime, same thing, same old Dolphins. I'm going to go 8-8.
It's hard to argue with that. All right,
I know, right?
Bills. Kristin, we'll start with you. Kristin, unmute your mic, honey.
I don't know who my quarterback is right now, and everything's new. I would love to say 10-6. I did call 9-7 last year, which I'm pretty proud of. I'm gonna go 10-6. I think the stinking Patriots are probably still gonna win the division, just so I have to listen to that some more. But yeah, I'm gonna go 10-6.
All right,
Knowing who my quarterback is, why not?
Robyn.
Okay. I'm gonna say I don't do this for one thing. I'm not ever noted for making predictions, but I will acquiesce here. I think Rex could take them 11-5. I do.
Whoa!
Hey!
The schedule doesn't look that bad, although we don't have a quarterback. So it's going to depend on that. But Rex is, especially his first couple of years when he was with the Jets. The players.
They did. I mean, they were in the playoffs.
They did well. They did well.
Yeah.
So you guys with EJ Manuel and all the quarterback talk makes me want to sign Ryan tomorrow. Because right now, average sounds good to me.
Yes.
Yeah, average sounds real good to us too.
All right, Sonja, go ahead and get us started to go out, honey.
All right. Well, thank you so much to Robyn for coming and joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the ladies. You had a blast. Oh, great. So yes.
Next time, I expect the Bills Mafia girls to be in trench coats. Damn it, I'm disappointed. I was expecting trench coats.
How do you know I'm not? You can't see.
Oh, that's right. She's in her car.
Okay,
Actually, I have a frog robe on.
So, next time, trench coats for the ladies.
I love Robyn's toboggan hat. What do you call it? Is that a toboggan? What do you call it?
It's a toboggan hat.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
She's going to shovel snow.
Hat with a beanie.
You got to go shovel some snow
I was
after
going
the
to
show.
call it a beanie. I really was going to call it a beanie, but I was like, toboggan.
Toboggan. I've heard that too. So thank you so much, Robyn, to join us. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on Twitter?
On what?
On Twitter.
You'll love that. Wyo, because I'm from Wyoming. Bills fan. It's WYOBILZFAN.
Okay, great. And do you write? I think you write, right?
Yes, I do. I write for Bills Mafia. I'm a blogger.
Oh, cool. So you can check her out.
Nice.
You can check out my blog.
Oh, good. Very, very good. Well, thank you so much for coming. And Kristin, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
You can find me hiding in my car. Besides there, you can find me on Twitter at Buffalo Bills Girl. Girl is GRL. And you can find me on NFL Female when I have time to write.
Exactly.
I don't know how you have time to breathe.
I don't either.
And she counts down the days to the season, so it's really awesome. So make sure you follow her to count down the days to the season. I love it, love it, love it. Lisa, thanks again for coming to join us.
Yay, Lisa!
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to take my measure and my ruler, and I'm going to go measure the sand on the beach because I think we got a couple inches of sand coming in. So.
Bye, Lisa.
Not nice, not nice.
Bye.
I know, right? I'm taking my 20 inches of snow out here, okay? Oh, goodness.
Every time I talk to Sonja and she talks about snow, my granddaughter's "You Can Build a Snowman" from the Frozen movie comes in my head. Want to build a snowman? I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that song anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take pictures of the snow and I'll send it to you. You'll
okay. All right, and I'm gonna send you some pictures this weekend because I'm going fishing this weekend. So I'm gonna send you some pictures of the sunset and the water and the boat and the sun.
I want a palm tree. Palm tree.
Palm tree. Okay, I'll send you some palm trees.
Very, very good. We'll swap pictures.
Anything green would be nice.
Yes, anything green.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you so much for coming to join us. And
You're very welcome.
You are always welcome, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. And I'm Sonja. I'm the official fan reporter for NFL Female. You can find me writing about the Lions. I just posted my thoughts on a one in Sue. Please read and enjoy. Indamican Sue. You can also find me on Twitter at mom, the number 2, the number 3, RN. And you can also find me writing at a good sports hang with me and all the other guys that are over there writing about anything sports related. So check it out. And my girl, Sharona.
I am Sharona. You can follow me on Twitter at Sports by Sharona. You can find me at NFL Female talking about the National Football League. You can find me. I'm getting ready. I keep saying this, but I promise I'm finishing up my little special off-season project. I should be ready to drop that by the end of the week, and then you can find me writing once again at Pro Player Insiders. Have not written there this year, and you can also find me. I don't know. We're probably going to do maybe a Friday show this week on Game Over with Vasti and Sharona. Be sure to check out that radio show. We talk about all kinds of sports, so tune in to that. We'll be back next week. Next week we're going to talk about the NFC East with our Philadelphia Eagles OFR and our Dallas Cowboys OFR. So and maybe some more people. So stay tuned in for that. We'll be back next week. Have a very wonderful evening. Shout out to Liz, as always, for whom none of this would be possible. Check out NFL Female, www.nflfemale.com. Have a very and check out the podcast. Lisa, our girl Lisa, is on the Wednesday night with NFL Female podcast tomorrow night. So check that out. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful show. And we will be back next week. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you then.
Bye!
Damn, Kristin bailed already?